everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here to do the monthly forecast for the sign of Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is for the month of October 2018. I hope that you enjoyed your September reading. I feel like time is flying by, but I hope this finds everyone feeling great. This is a general reading for Leo Sun, Leo Moon, and Leo Rising signs. And today we're just going to do a 5-card spread looking at self-improvement in the month of October. So it's called an improvement spread. It's 5 cards. I am going to pull the bottom of the deck card for general energy for the month for you. And then as always, we'll get jumper cards from the oracle decks here for some additional messages. As it is a general reading, whatever is most prominent in your life during the time of your viewing is what I encourage you to take the messages and apply them to. And as always, I hope that you find them helpful and healing. So what does Leo need to know for the month of October? Messages for Leo for the month of October. Messages for Leo. Sun, Moon, and Rising. Messages for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, October 2018. Messages for Leo. For anyone who doesn't enjoy the shuffling, just check the scroll bar below, see when the cards are laid down, and you can begin viewing then. I do leave the shuffling in, even though it makes the videos slightly longer, because personally I enjoy it. I enjoy watching other people shuffle. I find it relaxing, can be trance-inducing. Yeah, and then as a viewer, you get the option. So, messages for Leo. Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm just waiting for that little tingle in my arm or in my shoulder. Sometimes it happens right in my heart chakra. So I'm just going to keep shuffling until we reach that. If we get into the 3-minute mark here, I might just split the deck, but I'm waiting for that little indication here. Messages for Leo. There it is in my heart chakra. Yay. So bottom of the deck energy for the month of October for you, Leo, is the 5 of Swords. So this is a little bit of discord mentally, okay? This is something that's probably occurring within your own mind, your own thoughts, belief systems, or ideas. You're not happy with something. You might be giving yourself a hard time this month. In terms of improvement, it could be that the purpose of having this here is to indicate that you may not be aware that you may be bringing yourself down or dealing with some anxiety or difficult issues here. There could be some, internal debate, internal conflict. Of course, what follows this is the 6, and of course that's sailing away from troubles, but taking the lessons with you. So I think that's what it's probably indicating here for you in terms of the energy for the month for you is to, especially if you're running over the same patterns or same beliefs or thought processes, or the same concern keeps coming up and it's unsolvable at this time for any reason, perhaps put that on the back burner for now. It could very well work its way out. And it could also be an indication that you're being too hard on yourself right now. Let's get the other 5 cards out and look at why you might be experiencing that, and certainly how to go about combating that. Just gonna move this over a teeny bit here. All right, so like I always do, I get a little snapshot of all the energies here together, and then I'll go into each card in its respective position. Figuring out which direction you want to take, feeling protective of your environment, your belongings, your body, having courage. A Virgo could figure very prominently in your environment. as well as a Leo, and there could be a Taurus in your environment this month who figures prominently. These are 3 major arcana cards out of an entire 5 from this spread, so there's a lot of intense energy here. I do think there's something needs to be solved here for you. Again, more than likely within your own mind, within your own thought processes or belief systems or ideologies, some internal conflict here. Of course, as that represents Leo, it does represent courage. This does represent going within. There could be a meditative quality or issue that needs to be addressed here. And then, of course, a mystery, intuition, being okay with not having all the answers here, features with the High Priestess. So that's just some of the general energy we're looking at with their the cards by themselves in their respective positions. In terms of an improvement spread, this is what you already do well. So this is something that you're already achieving or that you do without having to work very hard at it. It's just something that comes naturally here, and that's really deciding which direction to go. Feeling as though you are about to move ahead energetically. This is an action card, so this is something that's going to take you from idea to a position of behavior here. So what you're already good at is taking action, okay? But we're really early in on this element, on the fire element. So it's almost like you could be really good at starting something and not following through. That's just a theme that could be happening here as well. Or having a lot of good ideas about which way to start, and you have several projects on the go, for example, or you've begun a few things with a lot of energy, with a lot of passion, and you can see there's no more fire or wands here. So it's almost like follow through may be lacking. So you're really good at beginning things. In terms of what do you need to work on, protecting the self, protecting what you've already probably begun here. This could very well be finances. This could be storage. It could be that you feel that you're running out. If this is finances or money or assets, it could be feeling as though it's being taken from you, or you need to protect that in some way here. There is a great protective quality. It is pentacles as well. So I'd say it's less about what you're busy doing or thinking and more about what you have, okay? What you're holding on to. This is a very physical card as well, so you could be feeling just very personally and physically very protective of yourself. Again, depending on what you're going through right now during the month of October while you're watching this as a general matter, and with regard to this being what you need to work on, perhaps there's an element of being able to loosen up or lighten up or expect the best, right? See, we are looking at the 5 here where there's a little bit of, upset, disbelief, that type of thing here. So it could be almost like this could be influencing how you go about behaving or how you go about acting and, grabbing onto things or hoarding things or protecting things, as it were, under the guise or belief system that it won't last or it's fleeting. Or I think there could be, especially with these two together, with the 5 of air and the 4 of pentacles, there could be a lack of belief or a disbelief. I'm hesitant to say melancholy here. We are only dealing with one air. We're only dealing with one pentacle here. Maybe waiting for the other shoe to drop would be another way to frame that as well. There are definitely some, it's hard not to say the word fear here. So definitely, in terms of what you need to work on, it's a matter of, if you are protective of this, your body, your money, your finances, your assets, whatever is in flow here, why would you be so busy protecting that? What are you protecting that from? Or who from? Or really just what for? That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of, it could look like or act like stress, right? And with these 3 cards in particular, it'd be very interesting to ask yourself for the month of October, what is, when you really settle into a moment of pros and cons, or you write a little pros and cons list, or you really are honest with yourself, what brings stress into your environment? It could very well be what's going on within your own mind and what you have or think you don't have, okay? Here are your external resources. Courage is yours to have. Courage is yours to exhibit. You may need, and this happens to the best of us, courage only can occur when we're fearful. So there could be an element here in the month of October for you to sort of, fake it till you make it. I know that may sound a little bit weird, but these are just really low on the scale, low on the in the elemental totem here. We have a 5, a 4, and a 2 next to 3 major arcana. This is really sort of, I wouldn't say it's useless. It's not useless energy. It's just really petty. All these little 5s and 4s and 2s. It's easily solvable. This is incredibly powerful energy here. If you're finding it difficult, for example, in the month of October, to take courage or to find the courage, or to be fearless in the face of fear, which really literally what courage is. It's, being afraid but doing it anyway. It could be that you need to look up to somebody right now. Who is your hero right now? Who's already doing something that you want to do? And really, don't reinvent the wheel in the month of October. Leo, just mimic if you have to. Play that little Gemini, just be that mirror image of who you really trust and rely on. Even if it was something that you did formerly, if you have to remind yourself, oh, I've already done this, I can do it again. If that's the case, do that. If not, if you have to mimic someone else, a hero or a heroine, in order for you to follow through with something, this is what it's saying. This is an external resource to you. So you can turn to somebody else, or you can turn to an energy, to a courageous energy outside yourself. You could need someone else to come to your rescue, depending on what's going on here. If this is a heavy financial issue, if this is a heavy relational issue, that's, it's heavy for you, but it's so low vibrational that it's all under 6 here. It still could be very, very prominent to you, right? If this is, the most prominent issue for you this month, if that's the case, you might have to seek some therapy, seek some counseling, seek some help. Again, read books or listen to podcasts or maybe YouTube videos of people that you look up to who have more than likely been through something similar or can speak to your pain or distress or concern, whatever that is. And you can find inspiration through that. This is a very inspirational card. So if that's the case, allow yourself to do that. Really allow yourself to lift up out of the muck. Because this is very low vibrational. It's not worth it. And these are, anytime we're dealing with major arcana, the whole point is to fix itself. You have to get out of this. This is beneath you. So let's get out of that energy. Internal approaches. Yeah, as I said, so meditation is the key term behind the Hermit, going within ultimately. There could be some spiritual aspects here depending on what you are going through the month of October. You could be developing your spiritual prowess here, but ultimately, in order to find the answers that you need, we're dealing with a 9 as well. Of course, that's ascension energy. The 8 is the sex, death, and rebirth. 8th house ruled by Scorpio. So yeah, going within, defeating something very possibly within, particularly if you have any air in the first 5 planets of your chart. Leo, if you have an air moon or an air rising, for example, you're going to have to go within and find the answers here. There's only so much that the outside world or our heroes, for example, can help us. We have to do the real work. We have to go within and find the answers for ourselves. So internal approaches here, yeah, going within, doing that meditative work, being still, being quiet. It sounds dumb. I get it. It sounds like throwing a rock across water, like it's not hard, anyone can do it. But there are stunning ways to do it, right? People can skip rocks and it's quite stunning and fascinating to look at, or you can just throw rocks and they sink. You can be still all you want and have your mind churning, Your body can be still, your mind's turning. The whole point is to still them both. And yes, it's a lot harder than it sounds. So maybe give that a go. Maybe don't be hard on yourself if you find it difficult, for example. Something about that is worth it to you. And again, as I mentioned earlier, there could be a Virgo involved with some healing energies as well. I don't normally say that about the Hermit card. I would say that necessarily about either Judgment or the Star card, for that matter. I would say those have distinctive healing energies. But, going within, finding the answers there, being still, being okay with ourselves. That healing, that Virgonian, the harvest, right? Harvesting, getting rid of the husk, getting rid of what doesn't serve you and only paying attention to what does. I think it really is going to help your frame of mind in the month of October. And of course, your overall advice is the mystery. It's the intuition. Really beautiful card here. I hope you can see this. There's a couple phases of the moon here. It's a really feminine card. It is ruled by Taurus, which has Venusian energy, of course, the goddess of beauty. I think for many Leos right now, believe it or not, it could be just lifting yourself out of a funk. That's weird. I never thought that I'd say that about my Leos, but you could just be experiencing a little bit of a funk right now and have to lift yourself out of it. This is not the same. The High Priestess is not the same as having faith. It's not the same as the Hanged Man in terms of, perspective and faith. Or the Fool, rather, and, having faith in the next step. This is really about intuition. So, yeah, it's really important that you go deep within to find those answers, to find the cure, to find the strength, to have the wherewithal, to have the courage to really trust yourself. I feel like you might have been taken for a ride here, and I don't even know why I would be saying that for my Leos. Like, who took you for a ride here? What was gotten into that you thought you had perhaps all the information about? You thought you'd been perhaps given a full disclosure and information was missing. There could have been a false start. You could have been starting something here over and over, whether it's the same thing or different things, like over and over and over here. And there's so many false starts that it's like, this is also, as if I didn't say protection, that is a great deal of protection there. What are you protecting and why? Very, very interesting. It could be that September was a difficult month for you or presented some difficulties you weren't anticipating, and there's more than likely at least one other person involved in a circumstance here. Just all the major arcana, there's so much energy going on there. I just feel like you were tripped up by something that you couldn't have anticipated here, so maybe give yourself a break about that. You couldn't have seen it coming. Someone might be playing you for a fool or have played you for a fool. I do think that you're angry at yourself, mad at yourself, conflicted here. Again, I think perhaps honestly for me, the most important thing right now in the month of October for you, Leo, is let's get out of the mind, okay? Thinking or overthinking, really. I mean, obviously, go about your life, think about your day and your future and etc. I'm talking about overanalyzing, overthinking, stressing out, okay? Rehashing events. That's what I'm talking about, Avoid that. So we're going to go from thinking or overthinking to intuition. How do I feel? Right? And then how do I feel when so-and-so is around? How do I feel when, geez, you can do this really on any level, on any scale, really. How do I feel when I see the color blue? How do I feel after I watch this movie? How do I really check out your own vibrations here? It's really, really important for you to get to the bottom of you. Something's going on within you. You're being asked to look at the way either you solved an issue through courage or someone that you admire solved an issue through courage. And to go within. You don't even have to answer anything right now. I wouldn't worry about completing something, finishing something. Going out of your way to suggest that something can be fixed outside yourself. I mean, this is literally internally to you. I think you're supposed to go within. So Leo, for the month of October, I think there's only so much help you can ask for. There's even only so much that you can think about it, protect yourself, or have false starts before you have to go within. And maybe there's a time to look at the facts. What are the facts? Listen, Virgo can also be accused of being cold, and if that's the case, we do have like 2 pentacle energies here. You could need to be a little bit cold right now, not to someone else or to an event or even to yourself, but cold about the facts, okay? Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So yeah, I don't think at all that there's an issue here with attraction or lack of attraction. I don't think that's the issue for you at all. I think that you might even be feeling overly attractive. And by that I just mean maybe you started something, or maybe you began something or ignited something, last month, last week, last year, that is feeling a little bit cumbersome, a little bit, what's it called when you are, it's smothering. There could be something smothering here. So yeah, attraction, that's the easy part, right? Attraction is the easy part. So you have that going on. You attract romantic love. If this is a creative venture, this could be creative energy. Again, by going within, by listening to your intuition, higher power here. There could be, again, some occult influence here, depending on what you're doing, some spiritual advancement. If that's the case, perhaps you could be getting into the occult yourself, or into tarot reading or something, and it has nothing to do with business or your love life. Maybe don't overthink it, follow your intuition about it, go within, see how you really feel about it when you see certain cards or symbols or colors, or when you experience shock or healing, if that's the case. Really have a hero right now. I don't think there's any harm in having a hero right now. Have someone to look up to. It'll probably be in your best interest. Protect what you have going into it. You don't have to give up anything. You don't have to give up anything to go into something that's fulfilling for you. And if you've already begun this path, move forward with it. Stop putting it off. Here's an answered prayer. Yeah, I really do feel confident here that if you go within, if you don't accept no for an answer, or if you stop pretending confusion is cool, or confusion is part of the process, it really isn't. Confusion is nonsense. Chaos and confusion is nonsense, and it's meant to disturb. It's meant to conflict, confuse. It's not helpful. So, avoid that. Avoid that at all costs this month of October. We want answers in the month of October, Leo. We have self-esteem here. Whatever that you're going through, or in terms of self-improvement here, does have to do with the way that you look at yourself. Self-esteem. Okay? Has nothing to do with the way society sees you. It has to do with how you think society sees you. Big difference. Self-esteem. Yeah. What do you think of yourself? How do you think of yourself? Why do you think of yourself that way? Do you like it? Does it improve your life? Does it get you what you want? Does it enhance relationships, business partnerships, your relationships with children or friends? Does your self-esteem need improvement? Is your self-esteem fine and it's just a thought process that you need to conquer here, okay? So, yeah, whatever is going on there in the month of October for you, big time, I want to stress meditation, intuition, and self-esteem are going to be big issues for you. Let's get a jumper card from this deck to polish up your reading. I feel like you're really, again, it's either, it's a big clump there. I'm just looking for one. Either from September and October, you're experiencing some difficulty, or you're being asked to let go or to shed some old, sort of low vibrational energy here in order to reach this higher echelon. I think you have, you might be feeling low or poor about yourself for no good reason. No good reason. Either something outside of you or something, okay, a person, an environment, or a place of business or employment is wreaking havoc within your mind, or you're doing it to yourself. Ultimately, there's no good reason for it. You're better than this, Leo. Message in a bottle. Yeah, special message meant for you. This is really one of the few decks that I found that really speak to electronic messages, and this is what this is really speaking to or about. It does feature a telephone here, but really it's just sort of you know, symbolic or indicative of distance. Okay, you're over here, someone's over here. Yeah, it could be you're sitting in the same room with them and you're intellectually or emotionally or when it comes to planning a future, or you know, your business ideas, whatever it is that you are in the same room with another person, you're miles apart. That's an element to this card. You can even be in the same room and feel like strangers. You can be coupled and feel lonely. You are going to attract or be attracted to someone who speaks the same language as you. Hopefully you find them in the same room as you, but more than likely with the energy of this card, this is going to be met through a media, an element through media. So this is going to be, you know, chat or messenger or texting or even email, or it could be, you know, FaceTime, that type of thing here. So really check out what they have to say. They could be very interesting. They could help raise your personal vibration. They could be the person that you're looking to for a little bit of inspiration here. Chances are you're going to give it to each other. So I don't even feel like, if your self-esteem is low right now, don't feel like you're taking from anyone else. They're going to be able to give back what you give them. There's a lot of heart. You can see there's a lot of heart in this little bottle, but a very, very special message that is meant just for you in the month of October. So, and as I said, generally speaking, this is going to come from an outside source, more often than not from a person who is not in your physical environment. Even if you are committed to somebody, it may not be, technically won't be from that person that you're already involved with, either business, romance, or otherwise. It doesn't mean you're cheating. It doesn't mean an emotional affair, infidelity, anything like that. It just means in terms of improving your current lot this month, a special message awaits you. It could just be a meme or a program that you watch or a movie that you hadn't seen before, you know, with something that really clicks with you. So use your intuition, look for those messages this month, and please take good care of yourself, dear Leos. I hope this reading was helpful to you. Thanks to every one of you who likes and shares my videos, for commenting. I love hearing from you. And of course, for subscribing to my channel. That means so much to me and helps me continue doing this work. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope this finds you in excellent health. Until we meet in the next video, take excellent care. Bye for now.